Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to XCOM 2, War of the Chosen, shall we? We're on our first mission after the kind of like scripted tutorial, and we've got a team of 4, and now it's up to us to see if we can get into the game and understand how combat works when you have a larger team to work with and the rails get removed. So, first of all, we are beginning, and we are Jane Kelly. But if I push tab, I can cycle between my different soldiers. I don't have to act with Jane Kelly first. I get to use them in any order that I want. And honestly, you can also take one action and then switch to another soldier if you want. So you could like run Jane up here to see if she reveals anything that you want to fire at, and then switch to someone else and fire from their position once the map has been revealed, things like that. All you have to know about turn sequencing in this case is we get to act with all of our people, use all of their actions, and end the round on our terms when we're done, once we've either spent the actions or we're happy with where we're at, and then the enemies will go. And it goes back and forth like this in most cases. Now, here, we are in a mission that is timed. You can see in the upper right, it says Converter Overload 8 rounds. So we don't have time to dilly-dally. We need to get there. There are many different types of missions in XCOM 2, and it's all about understanding which type of mission you're in and adapting your strategy to best fit. So let's learn some of what's going on here by just exploring the map. I'm rotating the map with Q and E, and I'm moving with WASD. And I want to move down here because I want to show you in the bottom corner of the map, you can indeed see it's the bottom corner because of these red horizontal lines. These mark the edge of the map. So what this means is nothing can come from back here. Nothing can enter the map from beyond this zone. So there is no reason for us to go here. And in fact, you can see this hexagon with the green square cube thing in it. That's telling us where the objective is. So if I move the map, and I'm just holding W to move it up, this is where we need to get in 8 turns. So that's the course that we want to take. And in that sense, Jane is actually, even though she's the ranger, even though she's the highest ranking of these, she's actually the furthest away. So I'm going to push tab and use Angela right here before I use Jane because she's a little bit closer up. Now, what are we doing? Remember, this is movement, so I can move my mouse around and it will change the square that I'm highlighting. Everything within this blue line is how far I can move using one action point. So I could move all the way over here. I could move up here. If I move up here behind this car, I get full cover from anything coming this way. Now, cover works very logically most of the time in the sense that I have full cover from anyone attacking me from the other side of this like SUV thing. But if somebody comes up over here, even though it says a shield, the direction of the shield is important. I don't have cover from anything coming to the east. And usually in this game, because it's tilted, I call the kind of northwest direction north, and then this kind of northeastern direction east, this down here, which is southeast, that's just south for me, and then this over here is west, just because the whole thing is tilted. Now, if I were over here, though, behind this tree, that means that anything that's east of the tree can't see me. I got full cover, so I'm really well protected. But something to the north could hit me. Now, there are some spots, like this one, that provides half cover from both the north and the east. So you can look for prime spots like that. Now, what I like to do with my first turn is scout. Remember, we are in concealment mode. You can see that. That's indicated by the kind of like shadowy blue haze around the edges of the screen and the cloaked hooded figures at the top center of the heads-up display, and as well as by the character hero panel here, we've got our health, we've got our morale, we've got our action points, and we've got the fact that we're cloaked. Now, I'm going to move over here to just kind of reveal what's going on, because in XCOM, even though like we have access to see a little bit of the objective, we don't know where anything else is on the map. It's all dark. So there could be an alien or a bad guy, an advent person, something right around the corner. So we want to get information about where things are first, as well as move toward the objective. We don't have time, like I said, to waste. So I'm going to move right here. I'm going to right click on this square, and she runs up there. And then as that happens, more of the map is revealed. If at any point, while they're moving or at the end of their move, one of your soldiers sees the enemy, that will become aware to you. You will notice, and you will see at the bottom center of the heads-up display an icon indicating how many enemies you can currently see, have seen, etc. We still haven't seen anything. So now, what you could do is just move her again. Now remember, when you get into the gold outline for the movement, that means that's your second action. You can double move all at once, or you can move once and then move again. Any of those are fine, but what I like to do is I'm going to move her here, and then I'm going to push tab and go to somebody else, because I'm going to leave her with an action. What if I moved over here and I uncovered an enemy? She might be in a spot to actually take a shot, so I don't want to use up all of her actions until we've moved in this situation. So I'm going to go ahead and move up behind this tree with Cynthia. Okay. Now these are all squaddies. They all have the exact same loadout like we talked about, the assault rifle and the grenade. The only specialized unit we have is the Ranger Kelly, who's got like the sword. So I'm going to push tab, and I'm going to go to Charlie, and I'm going to put Charlie on the other side of this SUV, just keeping everybody in cover. And then now I'm going to move Jane. Now Jane, I'm going to move up a little bit further, and I'm going to double move with her. I'm going to give you a XCOM rule of thumb. You never want to end the round uncovering like the complete round when everybody's out of actions. You never want to take your last action uncovering new portions of the map unless it's an emergency and you have to, because then what happens is the enemies might be able to see you and you don't have anybody left to take a shot at them, and it disrupts your entire plan. So what I like to do is, once everybody is like locked, I will move, but not in a way that uncovers new area. That's just what I like to do. So I'm going to move her double, and I'm going to move all the way up to this little wall right here.
Copy that.
So she can move a ton. Okay, and we still don't see the bad guy. So because of that, I'm going to move everybody up by her. And I figure that anything that she can see here is safe. So I'm going to move here.
Understood. Moving out.
And we're just moving toward the objective as far as we can, but trying to prioritize staying in cover. This isn't a guarantee that we won't be hit or that we won't find something new. But generally what it means is that the enemies, they do move on their turn. So it is possible
Roger
that they see us. But for now, it's their turn. We don't see them. They don't know we're here because we're still in concealment. All right, now it's our turn again. Now I'm actually going to move Jane first. And I'm going to move Jane right up to here.
Moving to position.
Okay, and we still don't see anything. It's very quiet. So there's a civilian house right here. Never anticipate that any place like this is safe. There could be aliens inside. There could be aliens around the corner. We just don't know. Additionally, you see how there's a ladder right here, and there's like an upward arrow? You can send somebody here, and then you can climb up on the roof. Now, you can use the mouse to scroll up to the next Z level of combat. So this game is great. It's got Z levels. You can rise up, and you can put somebody up on the roof. Now, being up on the roof is great because it provides you with a lot of line of sight. But for this particular mission, we are trying to get everybody over here. So having a shooter here is not that valuable. If we had a sniper, maybe, but this is still pretty far away from the battlefield. So I'm not going to take that tactical advantage of moving up there. I'm going to focus on trying to get here. Now, I'm not going to take another action with Jane. I'm going to move Angela behind this tree. Okay, we still don't see anything. And I'm going to move Cynthia to the full... I try to move to the full extent of their move for one round. One action point, rather. I'm going to right-click, go to the full extent behind this boulder. And then I'm going to switch over to Charlie and put him behind the tree here. Okay. So, again, we don't see anything. I'm going to move... now, I don't want to stand on that flaming square. Generally, the game will tell you if the environment is going to do damage to you, but I'm just going to stand here.
Move into designated position.
Okay, we still don't see anything, even with him over here. So, it's getting spooky. I'm going to move behind this rock here. And I'm going to move up here behind a tree.
That's affirmative.
I don't want to overexpose myself and not be in cover, but at the same time, I also have to move to get here within the time limit. You see, we're already at 7, and we're going to be at 6 very soon. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to put her here.
Moving.
All right.
We got something over here.
Okay, so now we do not yet see the alien. Oh, there's the Advent. They're moving over there by that power relay.
Commander, we have a chance to do some serious damage here. Before jumping into combat, let's make sure we make the most of our advantage. The Advent officers seem more capable than the grunts. We're not sure whether to chalk it up to training or stricter mind control.
Okay, so first of all, let me explain. When you saw those yellow-orange waves radiating out, that means like sometimes your people won't be able to see the enemy directly, but will be able to hear them. And you need to use those audio cues to guess like where the enemy is at, and you can locate them spatially using those cues. Now, what they're explaining is an Overwatch ambush. So remember, like we did in the tutorial, even though we're in concealment, as soon as I take any action, as soon as I fire my gun, the first time, the enemies will become aware of that. And they will have a moment to like scuttle away and get into cover. But if you set an Overwatch ambush, what happens is you have one of your people fire, but you've strategically put your people in position while they're still in concealment and set them to Overwatch. Then, when the enemy reacts to the hearing this and becoming alerted to the fight and tries to run, moving to get into cover, your people will jump out and take their Overwatch shots. And that will potentially put you in a space where you can devastate them before they can fortify, like hunker down, get into a better position. So let's see if we can do that. Now, immediately, you can see there are 2 enemies here, but there's only one little target above this character, Angela, because that is the only one that she can see. But if I tab around, you'll see that Jane has no icons above the bottom center of her heads-up display because she can't see anything. She has no shot. So what we want to do is try and move our people with one round into a spot where they can see preferably the officer. We'd love to spend our surprise round focusing everything to take down the officer who's in red here because they are much stronger than the grunts. And let's see if we can make that happen. So, for example, if I move Jane here, something that's super valuable to know about the controls is if you select a square, first of all, you see the red. If I move there, they're going to see me. But if I move here, they can't see me. So I need to move in a place where they can't see me, but that I'm going to hold left alt on the keyboard. And when I do that, you see how at the bottom center of the screen it says target preview, and there are two red skull icons there, head icons? That means that when I move there, I will be able to see fully those two units right there. So they can't see me. Now, I won't be in cover. So what I could do is move here, put myself in cover from anything coming from the north, and then put her on Overwatch. And if these guys move, she will get a shot at both of them from her position, because she can see both of them. I can't... What you want to do is try to find a place where you can move, where you have both of them in your line of sight, and you are protected. But you also want to plan out who is going to take the shot to break the concealment. And it's probably going to be Charlie, because... yeah, from here, I would be able to see them both and they can't see me, because Charlie's the closest and can move and get into position. So, let's see how we go. I'm going to move over to Jane, and I'm just going to hold Alt to remind myself, yep, and I'm going to right-click to go right here. And then, now... Unfortunately, we see even more enemies.
Able to hack into that thing's safety protocols and stabilize it. Shen is uploading the fix right now.
So in this position, there are 4 units. There's 2 officers, and there's 2 grunts. Now, if I, from this spot, I can see all of them with her. These guys are really far away, though. They're too hard to hit. Now, one possibility we have here is to scrap my plan, now that I have this new information. I could scrap my plan and try to skip these 2 guys. We could try to move along the side flank here and just focus on these dudes and get to the mission objective without bringing these guys into the combat. But I don't know if that's going to be possible. So that's one path you can take. We only have 6 turns, so we need to go fast. So it is possible that we just run over here, try to beat these guys with our Overwatch ambush, and then run up and hack this thing to finish the mission and not even fight these guys. You don't have to eliminate all targets if you don't want to. But if they're going to add anyway and complicate life for us and they won't let us hack this, maybe what we want to do is pick a better position, take these guys out, lure these dudes away, finish them off, and then go and hack this. So this would be a good place to save the game and take a line in the battle. And one line is going to be fight these guys, and the other line would be try to skip these guys, move along down here, below this truck, you know, kind of to the west of everything, and focus on these guys and see if we can take them out of combat. I'm going to take the first line, which is take these guys, but I'm going to save it so that if this is a bad plan, if this doesn't work, then I'll just go back to this point in the combat and I'll try the other path. Now, your feelings on safe scumming, if you want to call it that, and like loading your game may vary. So if you don't want to do that at all, then just stick to your line and take it. But I think for education purposes, it's always good to see how things play out and learn the way that combat can work in this game by trying different things and seeing how you're rewarded for different approaches to the same conflict. Okay, so I'm going to go to Angela and see where I can put her. I can put her here, and she will be in cover and able to see both of them. So I'm going to do that.
On my way.
And then I'm going to switch over here to Cynthia. Now, Cynthia is going to be maybe harder to get into a good spot. Now, she could see everything from right here. This is fine.
Orders confirmed. Moving out.
Now, the Overwatch ambush is important because you only get one per combat generally. You know, unless, like you saw with that hacking, like where you can put your people back into concealment. But here, we're only going to get one shot at this. So this is our supreme advantage because of our stealth. They're not aware of us. So we're going to take it with the hopes of finishing this guy off. So now, I'm going to move Charlie in position here.
Moving.
Now, from here, we get to make a decision. Who is going to take the shot and who is going to come out of... who's going to fire from Overwatch. So what you could do is, now that everybody's in position, they can all see these targets, you could just see, like, who has a chance to hit who. He's got a 72% chance to hit that guy. And if I push tab, it's 72 to kill the other guy. So that's very good. What about if I switch to Jane? 80 and 70, right? So she's got a good shot on the first guy, not a good shot over there. What about a grenade? How far can you throw the grenade? So the grenade is the 5th option. It is, I click it, and when you click on the grenade, we did this before in the tutorial, but I can see, if I throw the grenade from here, I will guaranteed hit both of them. It does 3 to 4 damage, which means it automatically will kill the trooper and do half at least to the big guy. So what we can then do is say, that's very good. I'm going to just push escape to cancel that. Can my man over here throw his grenade? You only get 1 grenade per combat. Yes, we can. And we can hit this. Okay, perfect. You only get 1 grenade per combat. So you want to save it. But they will refill after combat. Like frag grenades, you have unlimited of those, so you might as well use them. So what I'm going to do is say, my man here, Charlie, is going to throw a grenade. So I'm going to put Jane on Overwatch. I'm going to push Overwatch concealed. It says fire on the first enemy that moves within your line of sight, but only if revealed. Now this is very useful, because think about this. If you're in concealment and you go on Overwatch, you don't want to reveal your position to take an Overwatch shot. So she won't do that unless we break concealment, which is what we're intentionally going to do. So I'm going to push 2, and I'm going to just Overwatch. I'm going to push 2, I'm going to Overwatch here, and then I'm going to push 2, and I'm going to Overwatch here. So all 3 of my people are on Overwatch, and then my man is going to throw a grenade right here. Remember, what you're doing is the 3x3 grid of orange squares is where this will hit. Don't pay attention to the dome spread. That is just a, a graphical representation, but it doesn't mean what's actually going to happen. Only that 3x3 grid will be hit. Now, the enemies that have those horizontal lines moving up them and are highlighted in red, that means they will be hit. So I'm going to throw this right here and hit both of them. Bam. We killed the one guy, 3 damage to the other dude. Now, they are aware of us. And he's like, hey, I see you. And he's going to move, but we're immediately going to take Overwatch shots. Boom. Blew that guy away. Now, she has a shotgun. You see that? Because she's a ranger. Now, these guys are aware.
These guys make up the bulk of the Advent forces we've dealt with. They're disciplined and well-equipped, but their obedience makes them...
Wow. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Holy cannoli. That was very fortunate. All right. So this guy did move and attack. She was in cover. She could have been hit. Probably not killed. She was in the riskiest position. So let me break down everything that just happened, because that was awesome. That was like the best possible outcome. Now, this thing could explode, so we might need to move away from this. I'm not sure if these Advent trucks explode or not. Cars and things can explode, but the game will generally tell you when that's going to happen, how many turns you have and such. I'm going to tell you what. Here's what happened. We threw the grenade. We killed one. In the bottom right of the screen, you may have seen there were these green alert banners that came up that said promotion. Your soldiers earn experience and promotions by accomplishing combat objectives, by going on missions, by getting kills and things like that. The grenade guy automatically got promoted from squatty right there. Boom, promotion. And then we got another promotion from our one of the squatties, or maybe both of the squatties down here. So everybody got promoted for being awesome on this mission. Now, these two were on Overwatch. Jane took her Overwatch shot and finished off the officer. So we killed one with the grenade, put the officer to half health. Jane then stood up, blasted the guy with the shotgun. He's dead. Then these guys became alerted. They started moving, but because these two were on Overwatch and these were in their line of sight, they took a shot. I am surprised from that far away that they hit, but they both did hit. Now, this guy's body looks like he's okay, but that's just a graphical artifact. He is dead. He is deader than dead. The only unit left is this one. Look in the bottom center of the screen. You can see 54%. That's it. That's the only one that's left. So from here, check out what I'm going to do.
Rangers are uniquely
yeah.
equipped for close quarters combat. In the right situation, they can prove highly effective.
The game read my mind. What we're going to do is just use our sword with Jane because she's a ranger. So rangers are like, as they say, they're more close combat. They have shotguns. They have a melee weapon. Now, we know this guy's not on Overwatch. You have to be careful if the enemy's on Overwatch. We know that this dude's not on Overwatch because he used both of his actions to move and then shoot. So I'm going to use her sword, which is number 3, slash. And then when you slash, you can see I can pick where I want her to end the turn and what the percentage chance that we hit is. So it's very high. Slashing is usually great because it's such a high chance to hit. And I'm going to just try to hit from... This is fine, behind this love seat. Oh my god. Dead. Wrecked it. Okay, so
Hostile neutralized.
there's no enemies left that we can even see. Now, I'm actually going to go back, and Jane did everything all at once. So she moved and attacked, which took 2 actions, but that's okay, because I don't think there's any enemies left. Let's just check, though. We can check with Cynthia, move up here, and see what remains. I'm going to... Remember I said I don't do this often, and I don't, but for the purposes of exploration, I'm going to double move Cynthia to here.
Running.
So she's running, and I don't see anything. So that means I'm going to double move all the way up behind this tree,
On the move!
making sure I get cover with Charlie. And I see nothing. So I'm just doing this. I'm going to move all the way behind this truck
Rolling out.
because I don't think there's any enemies left, and I need to get here and finish this. Oh, there are enemies left. It says alien activity. Now, they might be off the map, but we don't have to worry about that right now because our objective is to take care of the converter. So all you need to do is get somebody in this green square, any of these green squares with the star. So Angela, who is selected right now, I'm going to move her right here.
Rolling.
Okay, there's...
Although they bear some resemblance to the sectoids first encountered during the invasion, their genetic structure now includes human DNA. They are stronger than ever.
Yeah.
With an even greater psionic potential.
So what that means is now there's 2 enemies and they are aware of us. And this sectoid, in the previous XCOM, these things were a big joke. I think in Retaliation they made these things harder just to, change the game. And they are super hard. They will wreck you in melee. So we need to be aware of that. Now I'm going to take the action right here to hack.
It's worth a look.
To turn this thing off. So she's got a 100% chance to disarm this, and we can delay the current Dark Event project by 2 weeks, but there is no Dark Event project. Let's do this one, Watch List. It's really hard, but let's just try to hit it out of the park. Now we did pretty well. Anyway, we got this. So we disarmed the detonator. It's done. So now what that will do is that...
Package intel.
Well done. Readings are returning to normal. Well, mostly normal. Firebrand is en route, but I wouldn't take any chances. Eliminate all remaining hostiles in the area before evac.
Okay, so what that means is now the turn limit, you can see in the upper right, is gone. There is no timer on us anymore. However, this soldier, that was probably a bad play on my part. She's kind of exposed. This thing can't reach her, but this guy definitely has shots. So what we need to do is figure out a way to get some shots on this guy so that this unit isn't dead. And if I move here, can I see anything? No. Can I see anything from here? This is a shame that I really can't see anything unless I move all the way out here and expose this character. which is a shame, but I'm going to do it just to risk... No, wait. Jane, you have a grenade, right? Yeah, she does, but it's too far away. Yeah, we can't see anything. All right, I'm going to move over here with Jane. And I can try to throw a grenade, but you have a limit on how far it goes. So I'm going to just put Jane on Overwatch from this position. And then Cynthia can move all the way up here and shoot, which I'm going to try. Normally I wouldn't put my character at risk like this, but because my other soldier is at risk, I'm going to just be a little bit more aggressive with the attempt to hit this trooper. This is not a great chance, but it's a coin flip, effectively, to just save our lives, so I'm going to take the shot. We got it. So that's fantastic. So now, this unit is at least in cover from anything over here, and I'm going to move this Charlie to here, and I'm going to put him on Overwatch. Now here comes the enemy, here comes the sectoid, and as soon as it jumps up, if it jumps up, we should take shots at this thing. Oh, dear God. Okay, so it did that. It reanimated that guy, which is a problem. So if you want to take out the reanimated guy, we got to kill the sectoid.
I think I'm bleeding.
Okay, she did get hit, even though she was in cover from that guy, and there's not much we can do about it. Okay, so now what do we need to do? We got to take out the sectoid. I'm not even going to concentrate on attacking this mind control guy, because if I kill this unit, the mind control dude will go down. So that's our next plan. This is also a good example of how just combat ebbs and flows in XCOM. You know, you think you're doing well, and then a new pod of enemies breaks onto the scene, and things change very rapidly. Luckily, this enemy, unlike in something like Battle Brothers, when it raised from the dead, at least it didn't get to attack us right away. And what we want to do is prevent our soldiers from dying, because if they die in the mission, they are dead forever in XCOM. If they're injured, like Angela is injured, she's taken 3 damage, that's okay. She'll just have to heal up for a set amount of time back at our base in the med lab, or just, you know, the barracks, just recuperating until she's ready to use again. But for now, you want to make sure that your soldiers don't die in combat, because they'll be out. Alright. And what I mean by out, let me just clarify. Permadeath. That character is gone forever. Now, I know some people who load every save file, never let soldiers die, and build up a super squad in that way. Other people never load a save, and whatever happens, happens. And other people are selective, you know, and pick and choose. Whatever path you take is up to you, but we want to just minimize that happening, because it's a very, very serious result. It's not like they're KO'd, it's just like they're down. Okay. Let's see who has the best action. Jane, can you slice? Like, if I want to slice, can you get there? Yes, she can. So she can get over here and slice from behind the sectoid, and she has the potential to kill it. Now remember, this flashes with the max damage, so it might not kill the sectoid, but we're still going to try to do this from this spot. Okay, so it took 7 damage, and that did not break its concentration, but it's just about dead. So that is tremendous. Okay, so we could just jump over with Angela and move here, like right behind it, basically, or right here, and just shoot it. I'm going to move one off right here and shoot it, but we need to kill this guy. Luckily, a grenade will do the job. Now, because grenades have short range, though, I'm going to move in with Charlie and make sure that we can kill this sectoid. So I'm going to move Charlie right here. And I'm just going to have him take a shot. And this is an 82% shot on the sectoid. Let's go. Oh my goodness, it looks like we got it. Oh, it dropped something, which we automatically picked up, an Illyrium core. That's great. We can use that to engineer new stuff, research it. There we go. Okay, and then now that guy's gone. We know it. So at this point, we can move. I'm going to move to the full extent all the way over here. I'm not worried about cover because there's no more enemies that we can see. And I'm going to just throw a grenade and blow this guy away. Remember, he will not be able to dodge. Cover doesn't matter. This is her revenge. All right. Boom. So, what did we get? Operation Diamond Blade is completed. We killed 8 out of 8 enemies. At the end of a real mission like this one, you will get a breakdown. You will get a rating, and they will give you some stats. So, we took 6 turns. We killed 8 enemies. 1 soldier was wounded. 0 soldiers were killed. We got an excellent rating, and this is something you must do. I'm just kidding. You don't have to do this, but I love this. Click on Take Mission Photo, and you will get to do this. This is one of the best parts of XCOM, this stylish photograph that you can fully customize. You can move the camera, you can zoom in and out, you can adjust this, you can change the background, the message, but it's so cool because you get to see all of your troops like in this glory pose of like them just celebrating their awesome victory. And this is a propaganda poster that you will make, and you can actually find these out in the world from people who are cheering on XCOM, and you can see your own posters and stuff. So I'm going to take that photo. It is funded from your research budget. It's your entire budget. We've lost it on this photograph. All right, and let's go back and then just click continue. So overall, a very successful mission.
Citizens are encouraged to voluntarily visit their nearest recruitment center.
Yeah, voluntarily recruit and become an Advent soldier. That's right. So at the end of this, you'll also see some more stats. Look at them all happy in the, helicopter here as we leave the Skyhawk. Dealt most damage, and then there's all these stats that come up, and you just press any key to continue, and you're going to land back at base. And this little cutscene will show you, like, who comes back and how hurt they are.
I'm guessing Shen will probably want to have a word with you too.
Now, this person is fallen down because they're gravely wounded. They're like, oh my god, I'm dead. And that's okay, but she's going to make it. Almost everybody here got promoted, except for Kelly, who had already been promoted. Now, you can either promote them on the launch pad, or you can continue and promote them inside. We're going to just click continue and promote them inside later. You don't have to promote them now. Now, that doesn't matter too much at this point, but it's going to matter when we get some facilities built and we can choose what they promote into. Right now, when we promote them, they will randomly be assigned a role, like Squatty is a ranger, or I'm sorry, Kelly is a ranger, but these other people might become rangers, they might become snipers, they might become heavies. You don't know what they're going to be, but we can get some technology and upgrade our base to have more control over this, so we can promote people into the roles that we want. Right now it's random. Once that happens, never promote them here on the launch pad because it'll be random. Go inside your base and take manual control to do that. Now, another thing is, I kind of misspoke. I said that this green bar was your morale. That is not right. It is your energy. And in this game, people, to prevent you from just using the same people all the time, they get tired. Even if they don't get hurt, they get tired and they won't be able to do a mission because they need to rest. So just manage, like, this bar is just how fatigued the people are. All right, we're going to click continue.
Items should prove useful in our ongoing efforts against the aliens. When you have a moment, Commander, I have made some interesting discoveries as they relate to the implant we removed from you earlier.
Okay, awesome. So now you can see the items that we got on the battlefield. We got the power converter, which was the quest item. We got the Illyrium core as loot, and then we got some corpses. Continue. And they're messing with the converter.
Standing around.
And Shen's like, let me see it.
Perfect. Come on. Let's get it inside.
They're like, oh, all right, okay, we'll help you. We can push this. Awesome. So now, Shen's going to want to talk to us in engineering about what to do, and we're going to learn more about upgrading our base, and we're going to promote our soldiers. And we will get into that in the next episode. This is a good place to end this second episode of our XCOM 2 series. That was a full mission from top to bottom. We took a hit, but we didn't die, and we're doing beautifully. And I hope everyone is enjoying this series and learning from it. And if you have any questions, please post those in the comments below. We're going to show off even more content as the game opens up and more options become available. Because there is a lot they throw at you, it becomes kind of overwhelming. But hopefully we'll make this as palatable as possible so you can get into this game and enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Take care.